Welcome to Loose Toss, the comedy podcast with the most sauce.
Drip drip.
I'm Willie Griswold, joined by Colin Unger with our 8th episode.
Hell yeah, I didn't even know it was 8. Time flies.
8th is the coolest fraction. It's the weed fraction.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty sick.
I feel like there's gotta be a cooler fraction.
4 over 20, 6 over
Another
9.
weed fraction, 6 over 9.
And then 1 over 8. Yeah, I think those
What's
are all...
1 over 8?
It's an eighth. It's an eighth.
Oh, I thought, for some reason in my head, I thought the infinity symbol, and I was like, oh, you're thinking of a penis?
No.
Yeah, that's my bad.
It's just the fraction that one typically starts buying weed in.
I might get into math in the new year.
You're going to get into math.
I don't know. It's all about positivity in the new year.
Fuck yeah.
I'm logging into the internet lately.
What do you mean you're logging into the internet?
Just going down weird rabbit holes. We talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, on this episode, we got a 4-piece for you today. Intro and outro by me and Colin, and then we have a talk, just the two of us, and a talk with our pal Mitchell Potts. Mitchell's the best. He's very funny. I think he's on Instagram at Mitchell Potts Tater Tots. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. For all you Potts heads out there.
For all the Potts heads, for all the Harry Potters out there that want to listen more Mitchell. Please go check him out. But yeah, it's a really fun episode. Colin and I talk about how we've both been in a funk lately.
I got out of it. This is a year of positivity. I've in the year early.
Yeah, so if you guys want to send money to Colin for STEM research so we can get into math, because now at 28, 29 years old, you're getting into mathematics.
I was thinking stem cell. I need my knees stronger so I can dunk. That's my goal for the new year. As long as I do that, I'm all good.
When you're such a baller in the way Colin is, the only math you need to know is adding 2 or 3 in a basketball game. We're adding 1 and 1 as well, because you put the kid at the line, he's going to make the damn shot.
I need a scorekeeper. I can't do it. I can't do it all.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate you. We hope you enjoy this episode with our pal Mitchell Potts right after a 20-minute conversation with me and my pal Colin Unger.
Here we go. Boom, boom. I'm back, dude. I'm back on the mic. I'm back on my little dick bullshit, my little dick antics.
Your little dick antics?
I was down bad.
Can I tell you?
I was miserable to be around for a couple days. Yeah, everyone, dude, everyone. Can I sit, like, dude, people I don't get along with have come up to me lately and been like, are you all right, man? What's going on? I'm like, just don't talk to me.
May I?
Yeah.
May I? You've been a total bummer.
Yeah, I've heard.
You've been...
I haven't had, my Yelp reviews have been 1 star, dude. It was, I did a show at Comedy Clubhouse last week, and I went to Christy Turner. She'll do the pod soon.
Yes.
I went to her place, like, right across the street, and had a drink with her friend, and her husband. And I saw her at the Laugh Factory Christmas party a couple of days after. Great time.
Shout out.
Great time. Laugh Factory rocks.
Only cried 2 times.
Yeah.
Wait, so can I say something? Maybe me also?
Not
kind of been a bummer, dude.
Not doing great.
Kind of been
Now that I'm doing good, you're going to focus on how bad you're doing. I shed my bullshit, dude. I had an anchor weighing me down.
And much like I always do, managed to make it all about myself.
Yeah. I'm tired of you talking about this girl, dude. I'm like, she's not a girl, she's a woman.
Oh, dude, I'm glad we're back in the New York groove, baby.
Yeah, I'm back. No, it was... But Chrissy, I was talking to her at the Laugh Factory party, and she's like, are you doing good? I was like, do I seem like I'm doing good? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm really glad you're here, though. She's like, I feel like you're staying... And she's like, my husband said you were really sad to be around. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Even more like...
Dude, it's not a great indicator.
But then I was like, yeah, but I was like, the only downside is I've kind of been crushing. And she's like, your comedy has been really good.
That's
I'm like... I'm calling every ex I've ever had. I was like, we're all getting back together at once. It's going to blow up. I'm going to have an hour and win a Grammy, dude. Let's go.
Because I was telling somebody the other day, I think that maybe on the pod we did this. I was like, I feel like usually in my personal life when things, like I feel like I'm not going well, like I'm not doing all I can do, like I feel like I'm an idiot or a dumbass or a piece of shit. I feel like usually in those low points, I'm like, I've been killing it on stage, though. You know, I have that part of me.
Because you find the funny in the fucked up shit.
Yes, but no, I had all the fucked up shit. It happened after I had this like great 2 months of working every weekend, and then all the shows went away. So I was like,
yeah, that happened to me too.
Oh boy, I'm very susceptible to the dark side right now.
I had like 5 shows get canceled this month, and I was, dude, literally, I told you at the beginning of this month, I'm like, dude, I'm paying all my rent with comedy this month. I'm like, this fucking rocks. And then now I'm like, My Venmo's Colin Dash Unger. It's not a joke anymore.
It's never been a joke.
Yeah, it's never been a joke. Dude, I plug it on shows and it works.
That's cool.
And it's fucked up because I told that to 2 comics once and I saw them look at each other and give each other a look like we're going to start doing that. I had to be like, hey, this is like my thing.
Yeah, you have to start writing it into your notebooks when you're doing set lists. It's got to be like movies with dad, working on the South Side, Venmo plug. You need to be like, no, this is actually. Oh no, dude! All you have to do is just make one little bit of material around that, and then
that's it. That's what I do.
Venmo
I plug my
guy.
Instagram and then I plug my Venmo.
No, but you just need one little joke aspect to it because then no one can steal it.
Well, I'm gonna make merch, and this is me
manifesting.
Not manifesting. I was gonna say notarizing, but that's not the right word.
I know
it's not the right word. Trademarking. Bop,
Trademarking?
Bop. There we go. Yeah, making a merch with my Venmo. So if anyone else fucking does that, just please give me a cut. I really need it.
I think I have that right now because I have merch with my QR code, and then when people buy merch, I think I have the Venmo in my link tree, so that way if they don't have cash, I might have taken it down because I thought it was a bad look. I truly might have taken it, but at one point...
No, that's like what I sell merch without having merch. I'm like, just give me money, you fucking idiots.
Hey,
and you know, it's always men. One woman came with her husband and shoved a $10 bill down my pants.
That's tight.
In front of her husband.
Did that make you feel powerful?
It made me feel small.
Oh, no.
And then it made me feel big, you know what I mean?
Know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you got boned up.
Yeah, I got boned up.
And you go, everybody look away from me or you're all gay.
Her kids
if
were
you guys
there.
make eye contact with me while I have an erection, every one of you, it's your fault. It's you guys' fault.
I mean, that couple's fucking, they had like 5 kids with them at the show.
That's tight. I mean, that's just proof. Really, whenever you meet a family with a lot of kids, it's just notable. It's just fucking proof, being like, he's fucking, she's fucking. Yeah. They're doing it.
Well, he did like, I was like, what do you do for fun? And he's like, fuck. I'm like, you fucking loser. I'm like, this is your wife? I'm like, she's better than you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who are even these people that you're with? And they're like, those are our kids. I'm like, oh shit, dude. I'm like, you're making a clan. I'm like, that's crazy. You like fucking too much.
Dude, it's fucked up because I literally just thought my grandma has like 9 siblings. And I was like, oh my God. Great Grandpa Murphy was laying it down, dude.
Oh, dude. Was your grandma Irish Catholic?
Yeah, on a farm too.
Oh, yeah. But my dad's got 8 brothers and sisters. My mom's like one of like 7. I have 32 cousins on my dad. I have 36 cousins on my dad's side, I think. The last wedding I went to, we were counting, and we couldn't figure it out. The original 32 couldn't figure out who else was there. It's so...
There's too many cousins?
Oh, dude, yeah. We were all drinking and shit.
Sure.
We were all like... My dad's side of the family is fun. The best part is, like, I love it, seeing how everyone's, like, lives are so different. I went with my ex at the time. We, like, stayed kind of, like... Didn't close it down. The one that did close it down was my cousin Bobby. Shout out Bobby. He does listen to the pod.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
But everyone's like, all right, we gotta like go home. We got like shit to do. And he's like, I don't have kids. He's like, I'm staying out all night. I'm like, that's who I want to fucking be.
Well, that's the cool part about it, because I have a lot of cousins too, and they're all like way more successful. My cousin Skatey, she has like a
oh yeah, she's like
swimwear.
A millionaire.
Yeah,
like,
she's killing it.
Company.
Swimsuit company. My cousin Emma, she's a little genius. She writes little books. Like little books.
But she's
she's
like won awards.
She's
for writing
so
books.
much more successful than me. She went to Harvard.
That's your way of
but just because,
coping with her being more successful.
Well, no, just because she was 6 when I was 9 years old, so now forever I'm like, no, you're 6.
Yeah.
Me and your older brother are watching Star Wars, and you have to watch a baby movie like that. It's still.
It's funny because it makes so much more sense for her to be like, yeah, Willie has his little jokes. You're up there dancing like she's writing about real shit.
What are you laughing at? You're my little buddy that I do my little podcast with.
I hate that. God damn. I mean, yeah, I think. Besides the ones that can't vote, funny. I think I'm more successful. Or I think I'm only more successful than the cousins that can't vote yet.
Well, I will say, even if they are significantly more successful than me,
they have more potential.
Yeah, like other cousin Jane, like he works in tech, like all these guys are significantly more successful. The comedy thing, even though I'm not so successful at it, it's still cool enough that I still kind of fit in at the dinner table. I'm still dominating conversation. Oh, I'm just loud, is what I'm just yelling.
I thought about that, but I also heard this, which is absolutely true. It's like a bad comedian is still cooler than a good accountant.
Maybe. I mean, maybe, but also, like, have you ever met,
But
like...
that's people not knowing what a
Yeah.
bad comedian really looks
Yeah, well,
like.
dude, I was hanging out with a bunch of non-comics this weekend. Just a blast. Oh, my God. They weren't mean and yelling the whole time.
See, that's what I get worried about, though, because when we're with comics, we're fist fighting to get a joke in. So then when I go out to eat with normal people, I leave. I'm like, I didn't let anyone talk for 2 hours.
I get that. And then I had to get a talking to. I had to get a talking to. Say, hey, I know we're having fun. Stop bringing up 9/11 and abortion. You keep bringing up specifically those two topics. And then I defended I go, first off, I got set up for the 9/11 thing, and the abortion joke was really good. It was really good. It was relevant to the conversation, and I had to be like, okay, just stop trying to be funny all the goddamn time. Just live one day. Even now, I'm still yelling, trying to like get my fucking point across.
The worst. I mean, it's like it's the best because our comedy friends. It's like there's no one that's more fun than our comedy friends. Like I'll hang out with my normal friends that I grew up with. I love them. They're like a blast to chill with. But like, I'm trying to think of good like. A girl I dated, all of her friends would be like, am I like as funny as a comedian? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And then like they would leave. I'm like, tell them to stop fucking asking me that. And I like hated being around. And I didn't hate being around it. It was just like, it was just so boring compared to like comedy. Like every conversation there was the exact same. But like, if we hang out with like our friend, like Luke Newman, who does Least Dumb down here in the studio, he'll come over and be like, did you know a gorilla comes 8 times? And I'm just like, I actually didn't know that. That is a weird... Let's talk about this for a little bit.
I don't think
I don't even know what I was going to say, like 8 times in a day. I was just making up like some weird animal fact that he always knows. It's like shit like that. Or like,
but I will say that's not exclusive to comedians. I think that's just Luke. I think there's a lot of people that operate rides at fairs that know about gorillas.
Different...
No, but I'm saying there's a lot of weirdo. There's a lot of people that work in design that can tell you a lot about gorillas coming. Also, why is that the first thing?
Or like Higgins. Higgins is on the podcast. I'm like, what are you getting into? He's like, I'm looking for a new hobby. I think I'm going to get into woodworking. And I'm like, dude, I love how
that's cool,
spontaneous and impulsive our friends are. Like, it's detrimental a lot of the time, but it's fun.
It is. That said, though, I love my buddy Logan. He does real estate stuff. Hanging out with him. I mean, I feel like we're getting away with murder every time.
There are people like I've met Logan. Logan's a fucking man. He's a good time,
and he's the
when
most
we get
fun.
Wild. We get wild. I think the only time I chilled with him was at your apartment in Wrigley when I first met you, and it was crazy because like I only knew you for a couple of months at this point, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna day drink. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then the knives came out, and I was like, yeah, these are my people. I belong in comedy. We had our friend come over who was a psycho, and he was gonna live with us. And then he saw us drunk and playing with knives at noon, and he's like, nah, I can't live with you guys. I will die.
But I do want to. We were also like in that story. We're 23. Like we're being idiots.
Yeah,
but it's not like
I was 22 because I'm gonna live longer than you.
You will live longer than me. But it's not like we're still playing with no, you were doing knife bits about a month and a half ago. That was a great bit that night too.
When you guys forced me to take it down or put it away, and I'm like, all right, fine, I won't play with knives. And I walk out, I'm like, bigger knife.
Did you hear how fast I just had to walk that back?
Yeah. No one likes my knives. My old roommate had to hide the knives.
Yeah,
because during the pandemic, I would get drunk, and I found this big Game of Thrones cutout. And there's a video, we could post it on the page, of me sprinting into the room and lunging and just like stabbing him. And then you just see like a tower of White Claws that I made by myself. God, the pandemic was fucking awesome, dude.
I just liked how I was trying to make a point. Just being like, no, we're not total dumbasses.
No, yeah.
We don't play with knives anymore. And that's a sentence that's not true for us.
Yeah.
That's still,
I keep saying I want to buy a gun. It's a good thing I haven't bought a gun.
That's a joke I did when I was hanging out with these non-comics. There was this one guy, he was like a former Marine, and he had a bunch of guns, and I was like, awesome, that's sick. I want to get a gun so bad that I know I shouldn't have one. And then he laughed, and then other people looked at me like I was fucking nuts. And I was like, I was kidding, but you know. Also,
I genuinely want a gun. I'm not joking, dude. I genuinely want a gun. Do you know how cool it feels just to like turn a corner with a gun?
No, I've never turned a corner with a gun.
I would be walking through my house with no one home. I'm like, clear.
I do, now when I walk in and there's a big curtain down here for the studio, and I always check the curtain if someone's down there. And in my head the other day, I was like, what if someone's behind this curtain? What am I gonna do? Choke them out with a mic cable? Like, realistically,
exactly. We need guns.
I shouldn't even be checking behind the curtain. It's better that if there's a guy hiding in my house, I just let him be cozy and comfortable.
Yeah, let him squat.
Otherwise, that's when he's gonna start bothering me. That's the bigger issue.
Once you start checking, that's when you lose a friend.
Exactly. That's when I lose a buddy. Who knows? He could be down here helping me clean a little bit on the weekend.
If I got a gun and you were just down here, it would be like an old, like, theatrical, scary movie where the gun just slowly passes through the curtain. Maybe I should just get a paintball gun or some shit. There was a point when we lived together, me and our friend Mark Renucci that we talk about all the time, were scheming to get airsoft guns.
No.
And I'm like, let's barge in SWAT gear and just light Willie up. That was the prank. I'm like, I have an idea for a prank. I'm like, we barge in, and then we just unload a couple of clips of airsoft bullets into Willie. Those are my ideas of pranks. And Mark was like, I love that.
Dude, I would have a fucking heart attack.
Oh,
I would
dude.
die. I would die, and then someone would have to call my dad and be like, he was shot with a gun. Be like, no, we shot him with an airsoft. He got so cried. He pissed himself. He shit himself. He had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And then he blamed it all on us. You would like to think that in his last words, he wanted to express love for the people around him. He just said, you bastards, you're idiots. I'm putting a curse on you.
Yeah.
I'm halfway between heaven and hell, and I'm dragging you down with me.
That would be your thing. If me or Mark were the reason you got killed in some way, even if it was an accident, that's when the God, I can't think of the fucking word. The scary movie.
Is it a scary movie?
The ghost shit. It would have been perfect if I thought of this. No.
Man.
No.
You know what, though?
Maybe I'm not doing as good as I thought.
I was going to say, a little peek behind the curtain. We didn't get high before today's episode. Turns out, high or not high, look at me, you still suck.
Yeah. God, I wish I was in a reading instead of coloring. I'm just so super into coloring, man.
And the thing about this kid colors way outside the lines.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
going
I don't follow
way
rules.
outside the lines.
I'm an abstract colorer.
You're a little kid, and you get like a little thing, and you're supposed to make a dog, and you just draw Darth fucking Maul.
Oh, yeah. And also, I remember the word is paranormal activity. Mm-hmm. You would haunt us if you killed us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Here's the thing. So, I don't, but I don't fuck with them. I don't.
So you do.
So
there's a part of you that does.
Yeah, for sure. But there's a bigger part of my brain that's like a little more academic and a little more intelligent, and be like, hey, there's not enough research.
Yeah, there's the intelligence is definitely the biggest part of your brain.
The biggest part of my brain.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying there's a more reasonable part of my brain that goes, no, there's no way that ghosts are real. And then there's another part of my brain that hears little creaks in the nighttime. There's another part of my brain where when I go story in, I don't want to stay in the room with the ghost in it.
Oh, yeah, we had to sleep in the same room.
I don't want to stay in the same room with a ghost in it. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely afraid of ghosts. That's it. I'm afraid of ghosts, but I don't believe in ghosts. Does that make sense?
No, not at all.
Huh.
How can you be afraid of something you don't believe in?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You want me to have a bigger thing for that? I don't.
Bro, I'm so... God, I hate
So you
saying
believe
this.
in them and you're afraid of them?
So into ghost stories during the like paranormal shit during the pandemic.
That's weird.
Like, so into it.
Like podcasts or YouTube videos?
Podcasts,
or...
like reading, like spending hours just reading stories about like people who have shared about their life.
Yeah, what?
Because in my head, it's like all it takes is one.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole new fucking world that we don't even know about.
Can I ask you about
We haven't explored 75% of the ocean.
I understand that.
Let's go on this fucking spirit, bro.
Okay, here's another thing I want to do. The last 2 episodes, you brought up paranormal stuff. Are you getting back into this stuff?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you keep.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually getting back into it pretty hard.
You keep coming back into it, and every time you bring it up,
I
you
just
go,
want someone to be interested.
well, no, buddy, first off, barking up the wrong tree. Not for me. I'm not interested, and if I was, I'd get too scared to even be interested. You can't do that with me. I can't do ghost stuff.
But then how do you know what to do if something happens?
I don't prepare. I don't prepare, and I don't think about it, and it lives in a free part of society, and it's never a part of my brain.
See, I only prepare for things that aren't gonna happen.
That's what I do.
It's like I'm building my credit, not great. Finances, not great. But I'm like, if a demon comes into my house, I know I should put salt on the windows. Don't look in a mirror for too long. It might get you.
You come back from the grocery store, you have like salt, you got like garlic, you've got like vinegar, and people are like, oh, do you like cleaning supplies or like cooking basics? And you're like, nah, these are pretty much ghosts, vampires, ghost vampires.
Yeah.
Learn about those too. Extra scary. People think that. Have you looked up exorcists or anything
Oh yeah, dude.
in Chicago?
There was definitely one in Chicago. I don't remember.
Okay, so you were.
I just did one about, or no, that wasn't a ghost one. That was about like the Tylenol killer in Chicago. I forgot about that. You didn't hear about that?
No, so it's not only is it paranormal, it's also.
I'm also into like serial killers and shit.
Buddy, it sounds like you're just fascinating about death.
Yeah, I guess I have wanted to die the past couple weeks, haven't I? I have been making a lot of jokes about killing myself. Yeah, I do think it's interesting, like how that shit works. I've been also like watching a shit ton of like interview videos of like super intense shit where it's like, I was born into a cult and survived a sacrifice killing of my parents, or like getting captured by like the Taliban and what that was like, or like
That's what you're.
that shit interests me.
You know what, dude? I just think that you should have lived in the '80s when there was just a certain amount of
Not
books.
enough.
No, there was a certain amount of books and TV shows and movies that existed, and now you live in the world where everything exists, and you can go down these weird rabbit holes, and you're watching military footage.
I haven't done that in a long time, but that's fun. That's just like a GoPro, dude.
Not
You ever watch
fun.
people with like GoPro,
No.
like with a GoPro on and
No.
mountain biking?
Yes, mountain
Same
biking.
thing.
No, mountain biking.
But war. It's awesome, dude. I don't get interested by mountain biking at all.
Mitch, have you done what?
Oh, we're going?
We're going, yeah.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay,
We're
here we
getting... What are you going to ask? Are you going to just start with... Have you done ketamine
No,
or
no,
something
no.
like that?
I was gonna
Have
say-
you done ketamine? Is that why?
Yeah, no, I'm not on ketamine.
Have you done it ever before?
No.
Yeah, neither. I did it one time by accident. I did it by accident one time.
On accident?
Yeah, I was at
Did
a-
you take your horse's medicine?
My noble steed, give me a prescription. No, I was at a Fish concert, and it was after the Fish concert. Me and all my buddies were just hanging out in a parking lot. It's like a tailgate. They call
As
it
you do.
Shakedown Street, like
Yeah.
that Grateful Dead song. And this is where all the hippies, they trade grilled cheeses for acid and whatever the hippies do. I wasn't all the way let in. I wasn't one of their people, but they did show me their ways, and I did have fun. But we're walking around this parking lot, and we find this guy, and he's got a wagon, like a push wagon, and inside of the wagon is a like a boombox, like a CD player, and is listening to this Talking Heads song, and we're like following this guy, and then it just replays same Talking Heads song, this must be the place, da, 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 da. And then I turned to my buddy Mark, and I'm like, dude, where are we going? He was like, this is it. This must be the place. And I'm like, okay, so we're just fucking marching now.
So you followed this guy because you thought he was going to lead you to the place.
I thought he was leading me to the place, but it was just this weird hippie parade. And at one point, this guy had some little powder, and I was 20. I was a little fucking idiot. I was like, hey, what's that? Shoved that up my nose. Boom. Felt like I got hit in the
There's
damn
ketamine?
face. Oh, my God. Ketamine Will was having his first magical adventure.
Did you like it?
Didn't like it. Did not like it.
Did you ride the wave, or were you just like, I'm going home, I gotta get out of here?
No, I stayed. I stayed and I slept in a parking lot in a tent with a bunch of my buddies. And the next day, my friend Dom like woke me up. He's like, Willie, we have to get out of here. It was
Yeah,
like
that
the
sounds
SpongeBob
about
I Need
right.
water
Yeah.
thing.
I wouldn't call that accidentally doing ketamine. If a hippie hands you a bag of anything, you just got to expect any drug, and you got to call it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I intentionally did a drug. I just didn't know what
Yeah.
drug it was.
Yeah. Well, there's
So
always
you
a
got
good-
lucky that it was ketamine,
Yeah,
honestly.
it could have been. Yeah, that could have been the first time you tried crank.
Listen, man, you guys don't
Don't
know.
take hippie drugs.
This older man in a pretty lights hat with a scarf draped over it, looked like a real
Did
straight
it
shooter.
have a lot of like pins in his
Yes,
hat?
bro.
You knew
So
he
many
was
happened, like little
all
Red
of
Rocks.
all the tours he's been on.
Yes, Red Rocks. Yeah, for all the
Yeah.
valor. Red Rocks, Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo, Electric Forest.
I don't understand that. Is that what the pin is? It's like a place you've done drugs at.
I don't think so.
get
Yeah,
that.
no. If you take drugs from a guy who has a bunch of festival pins on his head, you're doing horse drugs.
Yeah. That was
You
a.
are doing horse.
You guys
drugs.
are talking
You're
about
not
horse.
you're not doing people drugs. You're
What?
doing
That's like a
You're doing
family-owned
animal-
business drugs. Like
Yeah,
he
you're
made
doing-
that in his basement.
You're doing animal drugs.
Okay, drugs are drugs, gang. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not like you go to a different pharmacist for the cat. You do go to different pharmacists for your cat.
Yeah.
Dog. That's different. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me figure. Give me a second.
That guy is the cat pharmacist. That's how.
It's
I just think it means a lot when I'm the one being like, "You've made a bad decision."
when you told me
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, no. So I think the little pins. Those are just merit badges for drug addicts that go to music festivals.
But it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not an addict if you're like collecting a pin with like Rick and Morty on it.
Yeah, there's this picture of Rick making acid and giving it
Yeah,
to
that just
Morty.
means you have friends that you only do drugs with at festivals.
So can I tell you what I was going to ask you?
What?
I was going to just say, have you done any fat guy shit lately?
Oh no. Well, I did. I did eat a big meal, and then I went to a bar, and some guy offered me a slice of pizza from Pat's, and I said, just because it's Pat's, I have to eat it. And then
No,
I
yeah,
ate-
I
and then
agree. I'm with
ate-
that.
I ate 2 slices of it.
Yeah.
And I was already full.
Pat's is small,
and I
though.
just felt sick.
Pat's is like super thin, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's like a salad.
Yeah,
That's
that is
salad.
true. It's the healthiest pizza
Yeah.
you can eat.
What were the toppings?
It was just a pepperoni. So
Oh,
it's
Protein,
Not even, it's, Yeah,
protein.
it's not even that heavy.
You're
but-
pretty much just a protein dog.
Yeah, no. I only eat meat. I'm on the Al Michaels diet.
You're an alpha,
just,
dude.
Yeah, I only eat meat.
If it tastes
No-
for blood.
No vegetables or fruit enter this body.
Is that, are you,
That's not actually true.
Okay.
Vegetables and people assume that because I'm fat and the way I talk that I don't like fruits and vegetables. But my problem is that I like every food,
Yeah.
including fruits and vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
I like it all.
Yeah.
So is it all in excess? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just in excess. But I could eat 2 pounds of salad.
Why?
But that's 2 pounds of salad. That's a lot of food.
Well, like, you could just eat a regular
That-
amount of salad.
Well, no. Because it's not as filling. So
Yeah.
I could eat 2, 3, maybe even 4 pounds of
Wait,
salad.
that's the best thing
He's
you
just
can
like a
do?
rabbit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said he's just like a rabbit.
Huh.
I
Yeah.
need to have 4,000 calories for every meal I eat. And if that's eating 4 bags of salad, I'm going to do it.
It is a little lame though because I
I-
asked if you did any fat guy shit. You're like, yeah, I had a meal and then I had 2 extra slices of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
I do
mean,
that all
that's
the
not like
time.
super. That was just what happened to me this week.
I like how
can't think of
you're-
any like fat things on top of my head that's happened to me.
Your caloric intake is like you're training for like
Yeah.
war. But it's like, no, I just gotta hit a mic later.
No, I eat like Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I don't swim.
There are guys that are
Well, you gotta
training.
start smoking weed then. That's
Yeah.
when all the like the muscle kicks in.
There are guys that are training for Ironmans that are
Yeah.
eating less than Mitchell Potts
Yeah.
in a day.
Would you guys ever do like a food eating contest?
Yeah, I've won one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know another story?
Like
No.
an actual competition though, or
So,
is it like?
in high school, me and my friend Mark, different Mark from the last story. Me and Mark were at fucking B-Dubs, man. I'm being a little chicken wing legend. You guys know
Mm-hmm.
how I do. And this is back before I'd been to the magical places that I know now. So I was just, but Buffalo Wild Wings is the only wing place
Oh,
I
it was
went
like
to.
the mecca of wings.
So
Yeah.
I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm probably doing half wild, half mild. That was my fun little thing back in the day. Now I'm a spicy guard, man.
Yeah.
Half wild, half mild. I think I probably got 30 wings or whatever. That's back when it used to be. But I keep like adding elements to the story that don't need to be added. Like no one needs to know.
Paint the picture,
it's
dude.
Yeah, I always need to know why.
Yeah, this is your Sistine Chapel.
So I ate a
Yeah.
shitload of chicken wings basically, and then our friend Preston
yeah.
calls us, and he's like, "Mark, Willie, where are you guys?" And I'm like, "Hey, we're right by school. We're getting wings." And he's like, "You guys need to come to the basketball game right now." We're like, "Why are we gonna come to the basket?" There is an eating contest. We lost the representative for Park Tudor. There is no one to eat this Chipotle burrito. There's one man for this job. And I'm like, I'm ready. I've been training for this moment my whole goddamn life. So we get back in the car. We're probably ripping a little bowl.
But did you already eat the wings?
Oh, I already ate a full order of wings.
Oh, my
I already
God.
ate too many wings for one person to eat alone, and then I get the call of my life. But this is sort of my I'm too old for this shit moment, you know? I've had too many wings for this shit. And then I rise to the occasion. I get stoned in a car like a little 16-year-old boy, and then I head over to the gym, and I get ready to eat this Chipotle burrito. I crush this thing, dude. Less than a fucking minute.
You won?
Damn.
I win by a long shot.
Less than a minute?
Less than a minute. I wolf it down.
That is so powerful.
Insane.
That's a good job.
Insane. The guy next to me, He didn't even finish his. I go over. I start eating his fucking burrito, dog. People are going, Willie
The ultimate
G.
disrespect to the
Willie
eating
G. That was a
contest
bat
is
flip, bro.
finishing someone
That was a
else's
fucking
meal.
bat flip. That was a burrito flip, dog.
Going from B-dubs to a burrito eating contest is like when an athlete was like was in the NFL and MLB at the same
That's
time.
on
Played
prime
one
time.
game. Yeah,
I'm
you're
fucking
prime
prime
time.
time.
You played with the Falcons and one played a game with the Braves.
That is so disrespectful that you ate his burrito. You're lucky you didn't get like a burrito thrown at your head. That's what they would do in baseball.
No, dude, I was playing. I was playing.
You
I
showed
said
him
I
up. You
was
showed him
playing.
up.
Play.
I said I was playing.
That
Our
was-
basketball team was playing this like other little private school. They weren't gonna pull shit. Not around the king, dude. Not around the burrito king.
That was Willie's most like I'm him moment
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Just
No, that's-
like,
that's my
that
best
was
sports moment.
Your prime
That was my
athletic
best
achievement.
sports moment.
That is the most applause I ever got in any sort of sports arena.
Everyone was going nuts.
No, people were losing their fucking mind, dude.
Oh,
it was
dude.
awesome. It was Willie G. Willie G. I felt like a king for the first time in my dumb little
It's
life.
the funniest thing to see someone just on cloud nine when everyone's chanting their name for like the dumbest things. Like he ate that burrito so fast, dude. Willie's just covered like dripping sauce off of his face. Like
Dude, people
he's high fiving people, their hands are covered in sauce after.
at the reunion, we were like talking to people about it. I was like, "You guys remember when you Preston? Remember when you called me for that?" And he was like, "The food eating competition, the burrito eating. I'll never forget that night, Willie." People talk about it, and
There's
then I
a-
won most likely to win an eating contest for the high school superlative.
There's a girl in your class who married her high school sweetheart, and anytime she makes love to her husband, she's thinking of Willie. Is after the burrito eating contest. You kiss your girlfriend on the face, her face is covered in sour cream.
I never got to do an eating competition, but I would have won state in eating. If they would have if my school had an eating program like yours, if I went to a richer school.
Don't talk about it.
Program.
If I had more opportunities and didn't come from a poor shitty school,
Yeah.
I would have had a full-time eating program, and I could have gone state in eating. But
Pops is fighting for his meals.
That opportunity was stolen from me.
You're saying it like my school had like a STEM program.
Yeah.
Like we had a computer
You-
lab before
you-
the rest of the state.
You went to one of those rich Catholic schools that could afford a full-time eating program.
That's so funny. Willie's like the Christian Latner of eating.
Oh my god, dude. It was
All the other players hate him.
We tried to start an eating program at my high school, but they just gave us like cans of corn. They were like, "Well, I guess you could play with this."
What would it be if you got to enter any eating competition you wanted? What would the food of choice be?
I think like, oh boy, this would be because I feel like I couldn't do like boned wings because I can't like
Yeah.
I just can't get in there fast
Yeah, I know what you
enough,
mean.
know? But if it was like boneless wings, I think I could kind of put those out. McDonald's chicken nuggets, I
Oh,
feel like I could.
We put down a
dominate.
40 piece the other night.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
yeah,
it was fucked up.
Yeah, that's the closest I'll ever get to putting up 40 points in an NBA game.
How many-
40 nuggets.
How many do you
I
think
felt
you
like
could,
shit.
Yeah.
How many do you think you could do in an hour?
I could do 40 in an hour for sure. I mean, I gotta like the setting's gotta be right. I gotta be really hungry.
The setting.
Probably gotta be stoned to get past the fact that it's McDonald's, and I like know that I'm gonna hate myself.
Well,
for the
that's
next
the
2
thing
days.
is that weed is it's not a performing enhancing drug in any other sport, but in competitive eating, weed is
gaming.
like I don't think it helps you. Does it help you with gaming?
I get scared.
Yeah.
I get really scared, but then I'll get bored if I'm not high. I'll be like, I don't really feel like playing this game anymore.
Does it help you with gaming? I get scared.
I get so
There's
scared.
Number one.
Was it you? It was either you or Justin who heard us playing Fortnite one time, and they just heard me yelling, "Get me out of here!"
Get me out of here!
Because that's when people could still build, and they would just build me in a box,
I'm
and
not
I wasn't.
gonna make it alive, boys.
Yeah, there was the other day where I was like, "Go on without me," and they're like, "Colin, you don't have to die." I'm like, "No, boys, tell my kids." And they're like, "Why are you doing this?"
If we could go back to competitive eating, what I would do for competitive eating, I'd stick with what I know. I'd do burritos.
Yeah.
I would say I can do wings because we talked about the push down technique about like, how I eat my wings. I can eat wings quite quick, but I'm not as fast as some of the fellas are out there.
You would gross out the competition.
Well, no, but let me. I gotta think. I'm cooking right now. Let me cook, okay?
Cook. Burn on the line.
When I eat the burrito for the burrito eating competition, people don't think about this. When you have a burrito and you're cooking, and you're eating it, and things are going just right, you get the top part of the burrito open. That's the first hurdle, right? And then you treat the tortilla like a straw. You put your
Oh,
mouth over
God.
everything, and you kind of pop it like a pimple into your mouth.
That
you put
is-
everything into your mouth. Then you get rid of most of the filling, and then that way you can just shove that tortilla right down there,
Boy,
pal.
that sounds
Pots,
like
I
a
want to know if we're
bad-
on the same page
That's
about
like a
this.
bad sex ed video.
Yeah, do you think? Okay, so you were as grossed out by that as I was?
Like,
Okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm in 7th grade.
I was really-
For some reason, this class is teaching me how to eat pussy.
I was
It's a
just
gym
a
teacher.
weird gym teacher.
Why
Listen,
why is the gym teacher teaching
Yeah.
Your gym teacher is just
You guys-
ruthlessly fingering a fucking piano. Boys, this is how you do stuff, dude. He spits on it.
She's gonna seem like she doesn't like it. She doesn't know what she likes.
He has no idea what
You
she
gotta
likes.
teach her what she
You
likes.
gotta let her know, boys.
I was worried that I was gonna be like, that sounds disgusting, and then Pops was like, no, that's right. That's accurate. You gotta eat it like that.
No, I was like, I'm in 7th grade, and for some reason, my gym teacher's teaching me how to eat pussy.
Yeah, we not-
that was what I was thinking.
We
Wait a
did you
second.
guys have sex? We never had.
No,
'cause I
we
went
did.
to
Your gym
Catholic
teacher
school.
didn't teach you guys how to eat pussy? That's weird, man. That is fucked up.
Griswold, get up here. You're the biggest pussy in here.
Well, it was like in 8th grade, and a janitor was like, "Hey, I got some lessons I gotta teach you, boy."
No, we talked about this already. My mom taught me. She gave me. She didn't like teach me like frame by frame. She wasn't showing me diagrams. But she like when we had the sex talk, she was just like, make sure you take your time with the woman.
Oh.
She said things like it doesn't all have to be penetrative. She said things like spend time with her. It's not all about you. I got a real sexually free mom.
That is
And
what.
to rebel, Willie comes faster than anyone.
It reminds me.
That's Willie being a bad rebelling against his mother is coming fast while having sex, not pleasuring a woman.
I've been thinking about this for years. I dated a girl in college, and she always was like, "You're the second best person ever at going down on me." And she's
Good for
like,
you, man.
And she's like, "But you couldn't have beat number one. He was raised by lesbians." And I was like, "They didn't teach him how to do it.
Wow.
Why does that matter? That doesn't make any sense to me."
Yeah.
That logic made no sense. It's like they're not gonna be like, "Hey, we got to show you what's up."
You know, lesbians.
It's like he's an adopted kid.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
You walk into any lesbian's house, they've got
it's
a
not like a
diagram.
genetic thing.
No, they got a diagram:
Yeah.
vulva, labia minora, labia majora, the clitoral hood. You know, they're really teaching everybody.
As a kid, before he could eat the orange, he had to make it come.
Any citrus-based fruit
Yeah.
was a real shame to eat.
Not
that
not a
household.
single banana in that house.
A lot of
Yeah, he
grapefruits,
doesn't know how to do
lot
that.
of citrus, lot of stuff that you can make look like a pussy if you have to in a pinch.
I've thought about that for years. It just makes
It's been haunting you?
so little sense
Ever
to me.
since you've been trying to eat pussy like a lesbian.
Yeah,
That's cool, but you know, you're Kareem. That's pretty
Yeah.
sick, right?
Yeah.
You're the second point
Yeah.
leader. That's pretty tight. You'll have that
Yeah,
forever.
no, I mean,
Mm.
I don't that didn't even bother me. Just the well, he wouldn't have learned from them. You know, I don't know why it matters, but you know what?
Maybe if you just have being in a household where you're more used to putting women first in your life, right? Maybe if you could have just meant that.
I think the
Maybe
moral,
he heard directions coming from the bedroom. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
That's true.
I guess
Calling out shots.
the moral of the story is that I need to learn how to take a compliment.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all
Yeah.
do. We all do. Yeah, we're
It
all
was kind
probably
of a
really
backhand
bad
way
at
to
that.
get there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime Willie gives me a compliment, I assume that he's just trying to fuck me.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Colin does not know how to deal with male friendships.
Well, Willie gives really weird compliments. The other day, he was like walking really close to me, and I was like, "Why are you standing so close to me?" He's like, "Can I say something?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You smell really good." I'm like, "All right, now we're on COVID
Yeah,
protocol."
there we
I'm
go,
like
there
6
we
feet
go.
away.
There
Nice
we
that
go.
day, kid.
No.
Yeah, I
You
did
don't
not
always
like
smell
that.
great.
I probably washed my hair.
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
know.
you smell bad, but some days you're just kind of a neutral. That day, buddy, what a refreshing scent to be around. That
don't.
was an effervescent scent you were putting
That's
out,
why I
kid.
can't accept compliments because I don't want that compliment.
You were smelling nice. No, I had a girl one time at a show at Laugh Factory. A female comic came up to me and she was just like, "This is weird. You smell incredible." And I was like, "Here's the thing. It could be my new dry shampoo, or it could be my new John Mayer laundry detergent."
I
I'm
hated
using."
that I knew it was
I
going to
know.
be the John Mayer.
I
laundry
know.
John
detergent.
Mayer laundry detergent still in our apartment.
Do you like it?
I've never used
Oh,
it.
buddy, you're gonna use it. You'll get compliments, bud. You'll get a few compliments.
I'll use it. I didn't even know we still had that.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I think it's still upstairs. It's been unused.
What makes it John Mayer's?
Because whenever you put it on, you go, "Gravity."
I do love that song.
Yeah.
That's like the only note in music that I can sing.
Do it.
Gravity. Pretty good.
That's a Fortnite bit that we do.
Gravity. Yeah, I can't hit the high note. We tried doing the high note the other day, and we had to get a new computer. Screen shattered. You want to hear it? It's Oh, that's actually pretty. That's the best I've ever been.
beautiful.
We were trying to make Colin sing falsetto the other day, and he was just like, ah. And we're like, no, it's up. It's like, ah. And he was like, ah. He was trying to figure out how to do falsetto. It was like watching a dog.
When I do like
math.
high pitched notes, I sound like a machine in a hospital. It's just sad, like screeching. Someone's gonna die. Yeah.
Ah. It was very funny.
Yeah, it's like when an animal is getting eaten by a bear, and you're like, I didn't know it could make that noise. Seen a lot of those videos.
What do you mean you're watching?
Dude, I've been going down the weirdest rabbit holes. A lot of nature videos, but like not like nature. It's like the nature is gnarly videos.
Oh, Nature's Metal, that IG account?
Oh my god.
You ever see that one where it's like an elk got stuck in between like two parts of a mountain?
And it jumps right back in?
No, and then it just dies there, and then it's just skeleton is rotting.
I have seen that one. I have seen that one. I saw one where they got one out and it just jumped right back in. And they're like, all right, fuck. This dude's fucked either way.
He's like, well, let's get back to what I know.
I mean, no, I said that because the eaten by a bear video, there's like these people's backyard, a deer was getting eaten by a bear, and it was making the gnarliest sound you could have ever, like, didn't know a deer could make that noise. And then the wife is like, what are you doing? Go do something. And the husband's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Yeah, like, it was, God, dude. In those moments, I would just crumble.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, you live with me. I brought it up to you all the time. When I went camping, I was a coward, dude. I was ready to sacrifice every man, woman, and child around me the second I heard like a raccoon.
No, I went hiking one time in Arizona, and the sun was setting before we expected it to. So we were just like on this trail, and it was getting ready to get dark, and then I just tripped when we were all trying to run to beat the sunset. And I was just like, "Go without me, I'll die out here. This is it for me."
What happens if it's just like super dark?
Yeah,
Like you wouldn't be able to find your way back?
Yeah, it would have been a really hard way to find my
Why?
way. I would have had a lot of trouble.
Why are you trying to be a martyr? Why was there this
I don't
big...
know. I think I was just ready to die that week.
I'm with that. I'm kind of like, you go out a hero.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like,
I think it would have been like sick to die like that.
go on without me. He like hits the thing on his keys. You're like, burp, burp. The car is like right around the corner. Mitchell, just keep. I won't make it.
No,
I won't make
Yeah.
it.
it was like a state park. Like they would have
Sure.
probably found me in like 10 minutes. But,
Yeah.
I was like,
But you still
"No."
somehow died within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got bitten by a rattlesnake immediately.
Yeah, dude, I'm not cut out for nature.
We were talking back to nature videos last week. We had Justin on the podcast, and we were talking about your YouTube algorithm. Whenever I'm at your place, you're watching Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
You'll watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance. Not the show, you'll watch highlight videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
does. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
And Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Well, some people
And
watch
Bar Rescue.
like highlight videos of like Derek Rose highlight videos.
That's me.
I'll watch like 2011, 2012, like that Pacer team with like Roy Hibbert,
Paul
and
George and them,
George
yeah.
Hill, and Paul George. Yeah, like I'll watch those a lot. You're just watching 90 Day Fiance.
No, I like watching highlight reels of guys going to Ukraine and asking random women if they're the person he's been talking to.
What does it for you? Because you are always watching. You love reality
Yeah, I
TV.
love reality TV. I love. I just think it's very human, even though a lot of it's produced.
Yeah.
And just like I love watching like extreme human behavior.
Oh, okay.
So I love people like screaming and yelling at each other.
Can't
Just
it-
because
can't-
it's like fun for me to watch.
Can't another word for extreme human behavior be autistic?
No, I would say
Because the people on 90 Day Fiance.
Okay, well, some of them might be, but some of them are pretty sweat. They have too much ability to read emotion.
What do you mean?
They're like too emotional.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah, like
I watched one with you the other day, and that guy was pretty heartless.
yeah, well, a few of them are heartless.
Well, they were
and
insane,
Yeah,
also.
they're all like crazy in their own different ways. But I just enjoy the extreme human behaviors.
It sounds so peaceful when you say it like that, but the video I saw you watching, this lady was like banging her head against the window, and he's like, "I'm taking you to the airport, and I'm leaving you there."
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
And Mitchell's just like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
basically a
Yeah.
sociologist.
Yeah.
I just like to study human behavior.
Yeah, I just think it's fun. It's a good time.
I didn't know you were so
And
into
that is-
anthropology, Mitch.
it's either that's love, or it's just Dog the Bounty
No,
Hunter
it's like-
locking up heroin addicts.
Yeah, it's like going to the zoo, kind of. It's
Oh, that's okay. When you put it
reality-
like that, I love it.
reality TV is like a human zoo. You know?
What was the
Like,
one that
I'll never
showed me.
I'll never understand how a giraffe lives its life, and I'll never understand how these people live theirs or how they feel.
This is the
or
closest
way
you
they-
could get.
It's the closest I can get.
You're
to,
like the crocodile hunter, but just the people that you're studying are like the Jersey Shore guys. Like,
Yeah.
look
Oh,
at
yeah.
them go. Look at them go into their clubs.
Instead of tossing raw meat, it's just like rolling a Svedka bottle to Snooki.
I was going to do Italian sausage.
Yeah.
I like that you went booze, but I was going to go with shrimp meats. I like that a lot.
When you take away the Svedka, she gets angry. It's just Snooki swinging on pots.
Yeah, no, I would love to do that. I would love to be like a Steve Irwin for people.
Yeah.
Just walk into like crazy situations and be like, so what's happening here?
That is fun. Damn, there was one that. Oh, what was the one you showed me? The insane dating show. MILF Manor.
MILF Manor, yeah.
That
MILF
one
Manor.
was
What'd you say?
crazy. MILF Manor. MILF Manor.
MILF Manor is a show
Do
where
you think it's Mater?
I don't remember what the show was called.
Yeah, it's MILF Manor. MILF Manor was kind of a flop because nobody fucked in it. And
Oh,
that's, like,
man.
I think that would have been the funniest. But the whole
It was messed up.
The whole premise of the show is that they have a bunch of MILFs and then a bunch of young guys. But the reveal is that all the young guys are the MILF sons.
Yeah.
So they fucked up. They made a crucial error where they had the MILFs and the sons share rooms.
Yes.
So no one wanted to have sex. There was no electricity. So they had to have these very like contrived.
No electricity.
Wait, was there no electricity in the room, or you
No,
just?
there was just no. There's no sexual electricity.
You would
It
make the
was just-
best producer of a reality show ever.
Well, I would.
dude.
I would know to like. You gotta have the MILFs all in like a room, and then the sons in another one.
Yeah.
Or maybe just like
They
two
get their own
sons
quarters.
and two MILFs, and then they can trade or whatever. But there was no sexual chemistry between any of the contestants.
One guy had a meltdown. He had like a mental breakdown.
Yeah, this guy had a mental breakdown because his mom admitted that she had sex with one of his best friends.
Oh god.
And then
Well, at first he was like, "No, I'm cool. It's cool."
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
cool,
progressively
dude.
throughout the episode, he's
cool.
like, "What the hell?"
and then he spent the next 2 episodes just floating in a swimming pool. I mean,
just face down.
He just it just looks at his fucking eyes, and he's just like, "That's the guy that I called after my car accident."
and people are like, Mitchell, why do you like reality TV? And it's like that. Isn't that fun to watch that guy float in a pool?
Well, that
for
is.
2
It's
episodes?
funny
Oh,
because
God,
there's
that's
like
so messed up.
that's 2 other things, because there's like the Tim Robinson sketch where like the guy's like, "I'm only here to ride on the
zip-
the
zip
ride on
line.
the zip line dating show," and then there's a 30 Rock joke where MILF Island is a fake reality TV show they
Yeah.
do, and I just like how this with reality TV, it's just like, no, eventually everything's gonna get done. There's no other options. We're going to make, produce, and watch every single version of the human experience there is.
yeah.
This isn't even like the most like fucked up era of reality TV. In like the mid 2000s, that was the like craziest.
Big
thing.
Brother
Did
and
you ever
shit?
see Moment of Truth?
No.
No.
Moment of Truth was a show. It was a game show where they hooked up the contestants to a lie detector test, and then asked them increasingly more like difficult questions that would completely fuck up their lives.
Oh my god! Like,
And, yeah, for a higher money amount. And then if you lie at all, you lose all your money.
Will you
But-
say the F slur?
oh my god!
Oh, it was worse.
Oh, really?
Way worse. Like there was like there was one winner and they didn't air the episode.
Oh, really?
Because it was too fucked up to air.
Did he still get the money?
Oh, she got the money.
Oh
But
god!
they said, and her dad was there.
Oh god!
And they asked her if she thought that her dad had sexual relations with anyone under the age of 18.
Oh my god!
Was the final question, and she said yes. And then they're like, "You won $500,000," and she's crying, and the
Confetti.
entire audience
my
of there's
God.
confetti, and
Fucking
she's like crying.
Nick Cannon walks out with a huge check.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Her dad's getting handcuffed in the background.
It's the most surreal thing I've ever seen.
Oh
One
my
shining
God.
moment.
She's like, fuck it, I have to do it.
Oh,
I have to
gosh.
do it for my dad. And then
Was
she
there,
goes,
like-
That's
yes.
insane.
Was there? Did she qualify? Was she like, well, maybe when he was under 18 and she was also under
No,
18?
you're supposed to say yes or no. And at the end, the host was so uncomfortable. And he was just like, all right, this is pretty crazy. I'm gonna give you like an explanation, or like you could explain yourself. And he was like, well, I was in a cult.
The dad?
Yeah.
Oh my
and he was like,
God.
He was like, in the cult, like everybody like traded their daughters to each other. And he was like, so like I was expected to take a 17-year-old wife. It's so crazy.
Oh my God. Like he was supposed to marry her?
Yeah.
Let's not get too hung up on those details.
Oh.
And reprehensible.
Craziest. It's the craziest.
What year was this?
2008.
Oh, well, it was okay then.
That's a different time. That was the economy had
Oh
crashed. Yeah, that was a
my
different era.
I found
God.
every episode of that show on YouTube.
Oh my God.
But I can't find the full episode of that.
That's
I
not like
could
the
only-
dark web.
I could
yeah.
only
Yeah.
find the last question.
That's like
I
you
do
won't
want to
be
watch
able-
an episode of this now.
Dude,
now that I've like heard
I-
of this, I need to know. I need
You
to
won't be
see
able
it
to
for
watch the last
myself.
episode of that until you like become president or something.
But-
There's
Yeah.
a secret
Yeah.
room. There's an alien, and there's the final episode
Yeah.
of that fucking show.
There's one question. My favorite question was, "Would you give Osama bin Laden CPR?" If they were asking a paramedic this, he goes, "Would you give Osama bin Laden CPR if he needed it?" And they were like, "No." And then they're like, "You're telling the truth," and everyone's like, "Yeah."
That's awesome. He would watch a man die. That's crazy.
But like, the highest rated episode was there was this episode where, and he was like the host before the show. The host is named Mark Wahlberg. That's
Oh,
the host name too.
really?
Yeah. his
No
name-
relation, I'd imagine.
No relation. His name is just Mark Wahlberg.
Clickbait.
Which is kind of funny, funny little part of it.
Look, he uses a K, I use a C.
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
SAG allows it, okay?
I think his SAG name is technically Mark L. Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah, you got to do the
Yeah,
Michael B.
that-
Jordan
yeah,
move.
Yeah. So he,
Okay.
he before this episode, he's like, I didn't want to air it. They told me we had to air it. This is gonna be crazy. And this episode, this woman, like, they keep on asking like increasingly like difficult questions about her relationship, like, and her husband's there, and he's like,
Does he have glasses?
Yeah,
I've seen this.
And
I've
he's
seen that
wearing
clips of
a-
this on like TikTok.
He's wearing a chain, and he's like, she's Mark Wahlberg's like, have you ever like lied to your husband about your whereabouts? And she's like, yes. And then they bring out her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I've seen this.
And they're like, should he be the guy that you married? But one of the family members hit this. You get one skip. One of the family members hit the skip button. But
They give you one skip?
they give you one skip.
Now I know what I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. This show
Could
is
you imagine
evil,
someone in your
dude.
family burns that skip too early?
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked pot? Your grandma's like, skip, and you're like,
Yeah.
motherfucker,
Yeah,
they're,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna
It's
find
not
out
that
I
way.
killed somebody
Yeah.
now, you bitch.
It gets way worse.
Yeah.
And then they were like, have you ever cheated on your husband or had sexual relationships with a man outside your marriage? And she was like, yes. But then they ask her the next question, are you a good person? And that's the one she lies on. She says yes, and they're like, you don't think you're a good person.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know that.
But that's what she
You got got.
that's what she lied on.
Well, I just don't
That's
see
what
how
you
you
get
can...
for cheating.
I'm not trying to like make any judgments of anyone, but I don't see how like on television you can be like, no, I cheated on my husband, and be like, no, I'm a good person though. Like, how can you
Yeah.
just do that
Yeah.
A to B?
Well, it's just like, why would you lie about, like,
Yeah.
if you feel like you're not, just say you're not. You already lied about the worst
Also,
part.
why
Yeah,
the
you
fuck are
admitted
you-
to being a
Yeah.
bad person.
But why are you
like-
agreeing to go on this goddamn show? This whole point of the show is like, hey, we're gonna poke holes in all you. We're gonna ask you these explicit
Yeah.
questions. For some reason, we're flying in your ex-boyfriend. Like, as soon as she gave them the phone number of her ex, you say you're not on the show
Yeah,
anymore. You're
yeah.
done
Yeah.
with this.
The ex-boyfriend probably got that call and was like, "Oh yeah,
He's like, oh yeah.
yeah,
I kind of suspect
I'm so
that.
fucking back."
I kind of suspect that's the guy that she cheated on her husband.
Oh well, yeah, 100%.
You're telling me I get a 2-night stay at the Beverly Hills
Yeah.
Hard Rock Inn? I'll be back.
Hello, Walk of Fame.
Guess who's gonna see Christopher
Yeah.
Walken star? He's got the weirdest LA trip.
so
Flying into
funny.
Burbank, pay honor to the legend Jay Leno.
But $500,000. That's the top. Only one person won it. The person who said that her dad did that thing.
God, I almost got on a game show in LA.
Why? Oh, the dating one?
No, not the dating one. It was it's like kind of like The Price is Right with what's his fucking name?
Dude.
I almost said Cuba Gooding Jr., but it's not. I don't know. Mark Renucci signed me up for it.
Oh, Drew Carey?
No, not Drew Carey. It was
Does it matter
It was
who
a
it is?
spinoff. No, but it's like Price is Right type thing. And I went through like 4 interviews, and I wasn't gonna tell anyone I was gonna do it. And I was gonna like film a sketch of me flying to LA and thinking I'm like super fucking famous from being on this game show. Until they were like, I mean, yeah, you would do it over the computer. You would have to pay for like a flight and staying out here and everything. I'm like, oh no, I'm out. Like,
Do you know that I got an offer to do a fucking reality dating show?
Oh,
you should have taken it.
No, I didn't get. I didn't. They like pitched it and then it didn't go through. But they reached out to me, and a guy that we all know that like helps us book stuff in Chicago reached out to me and he was like, "Hey man, this is kind of random, but I put your name on a list of like Chicago comics that I thought would be good on this dating show." And he was like, I didn't even expect them to think about you.
That's
but
so
they,
funny.
Meaning, I pitched a bunch of people, and you were the only fat one. Turns out they do want fat guys on the show. And instead of being offended, I was like, I cannot. What is their email?
Yeah.
What is their email so I can reach out to them and try to get this work? That I
Did you
need?
hear anything about it? Like
No,
what
I
it was
guess
called or anything?
They pitched it, and then they like never got back to me. And they're like, "Hey, we pitched it to one network. We're pitching it to another. Can we still use you?" And I was like, "Yeah, go for it." But then they never got back to me again. I don't know how that stuff works.
Would you have done it?
Yeah, probably. Would have been fun.
I would have done it probably.
It was like-
I would have gone and just like, but I would have ruined the show. I would have like made such an ass of myself in like a funny way though.
Well, how?
Poop my pants on camera. I don't know. Just
Why is that
just some little dick antics.
Yeah, dude. No, it was like the whole thing was like you're gonna be able to do stand up in LA. So I was like, yeah, if I got to work fucking the improv in Hollywood, yeah, twist my arm, twist my little dick.
That was they were like telling you like you're like
That was the whole thing. It's like you stay with a bunch of comics, you perform, and then you have to like choose each other or move on. I don't fucking.
oh that sounds sick.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
So it was like a stand up dating show.
Yeah. Did I not say that?
No.
No, I thought it was you
Oh,
just
really?
said dating.
You mentioned fat. I thought it was. I
fat dating
seriously thought
show?
it was a fat dating show.
What if that's what they? That's just what they called it. They're like, "Welcome back to the fat dating
You
show."
mentioned nothing about
Yeah.
comedy. You only said fat.
It's XXL Boy Island. It's just Fuck Boy Island with a bunch of fat guys.
XXLOVE. That's
Have
pretty
they
fun.
done a fat guy dating show? Not The Biggest Losers, The Biggest Lovers? Pretty
ooh.
good. Just a one letter difference.
I was gonna tell you guys about another reality show that I've watched.
Which is that?
Kind of relevant to this. There was a show called Are You Hot? And the show was just that people walked up on stage and 3 judges told them if they were hot or not.
That's great.
I love that.
And then they would advance them, and then the whole goal was to decide who the hottest person in America was. It lasted 4 episodes because of how offensive it was. There was one part, I've watched the first episode, where he takes a laser pointer and points out all of this woman's flaws.
Oh my god!
And they'll rate people on a scale of 1 to 10. They'll be like, your face is a 3, but your body a 7, and then they have overall sex appeal, and they'd be like, that's a 5. It was one of the most fucked up shows.
I would love it if the judges were still like the American Idol panel. Like, it's still like Randy Jackson's like, that's no for me, dog.
Dog, you look like shit. You know, like
Adam Carolla just walked out. Well, I'm the host this time, and it looks like they didn't make it through. Pretty good Adam Carolla impression.
Instead of the chair, how they hit the button and turn around, they hit the button and it faces them away from them because they're tired of them
ugly.
looking ugly.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
Oh man, I do want to watch that show. So they didn't even make it to like the hottest person in America.
no, it got canceled pretty quickly. Because even for like 2004, they were like, this is gonna give people eating disorders.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was really a fucked up show.
I was big into Next when I was younger for some reason.
Next was great.
Yeah.
Next is an all-time classic.
Can I tell you, it sounds insane to say, but the TV show Next was my first experience viewing any sort of homosexual dating on television. Because back then they didn't have gay characters on TV shows. Truly, Next was maybe the most progressive show of its time.
Honestly,
Will they see it next? And he's like, wait, people are doing this? What's it?
I never even thought about that before. But
There was no
yeah.
gay
Pretty
dating
woke.
shows.
It is
Yeah.
pretty
The
woke.
reason that I'm such
Next
a
is the
reason-
wokest show of all time.
the reason I'm a woke
As they're
ally.
like calling people next.
The reason I'm a woke ally icon is because of the show Next and the show Tila Tequila Shot at Love.
Oh God.
Oh, I
where
remember
she dated
that.
men and women at the same time. Man.
Yeah, that was a real sexual awakening for me. Tila Tequila. Does
The era-
anyone, when you're in like middle school and you see, or like elementary, middle school, you see fake boobs?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I like that.
Yeah. You were into them?
Not anymore.
I was
but
always
like when I was a kid and I
No.
just saw giant boobs and I didn't know fake boobs were a thing. Now I'm not into them.
I was always a natty man
Same.
from day one.
Put those natties on ice. Get them cold.
Weird.
Let me see the mountains. The silver bullet.
No.
But we're
I
family.
really thought you had
We're
more to
we're
think.
family
We were
here.
on the edge of our seat.
We're family here.
I
Is that Olive Garden?
I was terrified that he had one more.
Taste the rainbow.
You just go, you just
Shit.
completely fucking panicked.
Drink fresh.
Eat fresh.
Drink fresh.
Eat fresh. Oh, God, boys. Boys. Well, I feel pretty good. I think we can call it, unless you guys got anything else you want to say.
No.
No.
Mitch, you got any shows you want to plug coming up?
I don't think so.
You want to plug your Instagram, Mitchell Potts Tater Tots?
Yeah, you could follow me at Mitchell Potts Tater Tots.
For all the pots heads out there.
Yeah, for all the Potts heads, for Potts Nation.
Potts Nation, Potts Heads.
When is this coming out?
Next week, Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, I don't really have anything that. Yeah, the week it's like Christmas is next week.
Yeah.
or a couple weeks. I don't really have anything.
Christmas is expensive.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Venmo me at I'm Mitchell Potts.
Don't
And you
do
can
that.
Venmo me at Colin-Unger,
doing
2
that.
L's.
He does it every fucking episode.
He set it up that time. I had to have his back.
No, you didn't have to. Oh, that's the one time you yes and.
This is a running bit.
Yeah.
First time
Yeah.
Colin has ever listened to anyone on this damn show.
No, we actually planned this out
Yeah.
beforehand. Colin was like, Mitchell, please plug your Venmo. So I put
Yeah.
my Venmo.
I'm sure he did.
I really need some money.
I'm sure he did.
But
He's not-
unless you guys want to give, it is a giving season.
Yeah.
No, give to your family, give to your friends, the people that need it. Don't give to Colin.
Fuck them. Give me
but-
money.
But give to Mitchell Potts. He could buy wings and stuff. You know?
No.
Yeah, I like wings too.
Yeah.
No, we all like wings. Don't make this about wings. It's not about wings. Everyone knows we all love wings. There you have it, folks. We did the 8th episode. We did the fun fraction episode.
We did it.
Did you have fun, Colin?
I had the best time of my life.
We always have the best time of our lives when we're together in this studio. That is the truth. It's not a lie at all.
I just live in the moment, man.
Yeah,
like
we
I
are.
said, your positivity. I'm zen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have better posture this year.
Yes.
I might get into combat sports.
Whoa, how cool. Again, getting into these sports at 29 years old. Hilarious thing to get into.
LARP. I'm getting into LARPing.
You're going to get like the sword and the
But
whole
like
thing?
the night ones where they like fuck each other up.
That's sick. That'll be cool. Drink some mead, eat some turkey leg.
Yeah, but I've meditated a lot lately and I've mastered my mind. Now it's time this year I'm gonna master my body and my sexuality.
All right, man. Well,
And that comes down to me dressing up as a knight and
Yes.
hitting people with swords.
absolutely. Well, you guys, if you want to come see me, I'm going to be in Erie, Pennsylvania, New Year's weekend with Greg Hahn. Colin, where can the fine people see your little ass?
I got shows at Zany's, Chicago, Old Town, Friday, December 22nd, and Saturday, December 23rd.
Yeah.
I'm hosting a little bit, doing the host button for Joe Mandy, wrote for Parks and Rec. Cool guy.
Yeah, very funny. All right, gang. Well, thank you very much for listening. We're going to see you guys next time.
Drip, drip.